So today's topic around personal development is one of the most important pillars around success and around high performance that unfortunately a lot of people are not really consistent enough around or intentional enough around. So I want to tackle it today, and this pillar is energy. Energy is everything. If you have no energy or if you have fluctuating levels of energy, it's very difficult for you to stay motivated, to go after your goals, very difficult for you to tackle obstacles with confidence or to be courageous, influential. Everything that can help you being successful becomes more difficult if you don't have energy or if you have fluctuating levels of energy that do not allow you to be consistent. On the other hand, you know that if you have top levels of energy, you can do everything. You can get it done quick. You can be productive. You can be resilient. You can be optimistic and joyful. You can be fully engaged. You can just have motivation coming out of nowhere, right? So, energy is super important. And today what I want to discuss is the fact that most people believe that they don't have so much power about it. And that is really a myth. So most people think that energy is a kind of fixed state. So you have energy or you don't have energy. One day you have it, one day you don't have it. You don't know where it's coming from. This is really, I'd say that this is really a myth because this fixed state doesn't exist. And the second myth around energy is that energy is coming always from the outer world. So it's coming from the people around you, it's coming from the situations happening to you, it's coming from your environment in general. And this is also a big myth. We are not sponge. As human beings, we tend to sponge other people's behavior, but this is always a choice. So you can decide. And what I really want to give you as a message today is that energy is something that you can create for yourself. It's something you can generate if you know how to do it and if you use the right fuel and the right resources for you as well. And it's something that you can generate to support your efforts on the long term. So really having this consistency of high level of energy, top levels every day. And it's also something that you can summon because you can create your energy whenever you need it. So for instance, if you have a big event or some specific activities where you want to show up at the best top level energetic person you've ever been, that is also something you are able to do as a human being. You can create it. So I want to tell you today how you can do that. And the first step is very simple. One is take command for it. This is really me telling you, take responsibility for it. So the first step is doing this mindset shift around understanding that you can create it. And I'm pretty sure you know that. I'm pretty sure you've always been, for instance, there was one person that you met that suddenly gave you this boost of energy and you're like, something here happened that I really like, that really helped me mentally or emotionally get better. You probably also know that if you feel like crap and you go and you do a sport activity, you are going to feel better afterwards. So you know that sometimes you can create your own energy if you push yourself through a little bit, if you're really paying attention to it. And this is really a mindset. I want you to be clear on that. You know that you can create your energy. You've already done it yourself. Maybe you did not realize you had the power there, but I really want you to take this today. You can create your energy. That's the message number one. Now, take command also means deciding. So once you know that you can create it, once you've integrated this idea, it's very good to do it intellectually, but you also need to go and then decide. So I want to challenge you this year. I want to challenge you to decide. This year is going to be the most energetic year of my life. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I stay energetic. I'm going to make sure that I define how I want my energetic self to look like. I'm also going to define what type of energy do I want to bring in the world when I'm interacting with other people. So really take decisions there. Decide, what would I be doing if I had so much more energy? And decide as well, why is it important for you to have all this energy? What are you going to be going after? What are the goals? So just really find your own motivation for why you should be raising your own energy this year. And finally, take responsibility as well. Taking command is also admitting that you have to take responsibility for your discipline. You have to make sure that you catch yourself when you are getting off track. You have to make sure that you monitor yourself and that you are aligning yourself with, if you say, I wanted to behave this way with this person, with this energy, that you are controlling yourself as well. So understand that you can create it, decide that you will create it, and then go and do the work and take responsibility to create it every day. That's basically how you can start thinking about raising your levels of energy. The second thing, obviously, is going to be to create your techniques to be energetic and also optimize them. So find what works for you in the level of energy. You've heard it all. You probably heard all the big advice about, sleeping, nutrition, exercise, meditation. There are plenty out there in the world that you probably already heard. There are probably things that you've already tried as well, but here I really want to challenge you to identify the one that work for you, identify the one that you can put as part of your lifestyles, identify really the ones that are supporting you positively, that you know are supporting you positively, and always keep this mindset of I can always be more energetic. So always try to find for new ways, new tools to level, new techniques, and recommendations here. Think in two different ways. So first of all, think in terms of the different angles of energy. So energy is just not I am the fittest person ever, and I'm physically feeling strong. Energy is physical, yes. So you have to take care of your body, you have to really rest, you have to sleep, this type of things. So really take care and take command of your body as well in terms of how you gesture, how you move. That's really going to bring you some energy there. Energy is also from the mental point of view. So mental energy is how focused you're able to stay. So it's more endurance mentally, how you're always able to have a positive outlooks on things coming, how you're able to stay resourceful, how you're able to stay present. So this is really about the mental energy. And there is also emotional energy. So emotional energy is more how are you cheerful today? How are you optimistic? How do you stay joyful? How do you stay with positive emotions? How do you really, decide to engage fully with life, but in a very positive way, and how to be grateful as well. So these are the three levels of energy that you need to think of, not just physical, which is where most people are putting their focus, but as well mental and emotional, to make sure that the whole picture of your energy, the whole energy with a big capital E letter is working well for you. And think as well, I would say more like short and long term. So energy, one thing that you need to do is do it in a sustainable way. So here you need to create habits. You need to make sure that every day you can support your levels. But there are also going to be occasions in your life where you're going to need to raise up at a whole different level. If there is a big event or a big project, or a big meeting where you want to show up at the best level you ever had. And there you need to find as well techniques to pump yourself up. So find ways that you can raise your own energy just before the meeting, just before a presentation, just before going and tackling this activity. Find techniques that are also boosting you at the top level and giving you an extra peak of energy there. So in energy, it's about creating it, find the techniques for you, and make sure you keep optimizing it, and make sure that you think about all the possible circumstances and all the possible types of energy. And then finally, very important, overprotect it. I repeat, you have to protect here. You have to stand your ground in terms of energy. And the main issue around energies for most people, first of all, is a lack of consistency. So you need to find a reason to be disciplined, which is what I mentioned earlier. Decide to be energetic and decide why you want to be. Very important to connect here so that you can create discipline around it, that you can really make sure that you keep yourself on track. But there is another aspect of energy, which is the lack of monitoring that most people are not good at. And that's why also creates lack of consistency, because you don't see yourself sliding back. So here I really want to challenge you as well to keep tracking your energy, keep being conscious of what's happening, and keep also monitoring where you are losing energy. Where do you get drained from? And again, think about it in all the different areas. So physically, it can be that you're not sleeping enough, that you're not exercising enough, that you're too tired, that you're not taking any fresh air, for instance. So think about where you get drained physically, then also mentally. So what is preventing you to be focused? How can you transition better, for instance, between tasks? So if you go from writing hundreds of emails to giving a phone call to a client, it's a whole different situation. So your brain needs sometimes to process it and to transition between both. Same thing for your brain power. Make sure you stop multitasking, because this is killing you. So these type of things, think about all the moments where your brain is not performing in the most alert mental way, and see what is coming there, and try to remove that so that you can keep yourself at your peak performance mentally as well. And then finally, look also emotionally. So understand where the frustrations are coming from, where are the situation, what are the people, what are the negative emotions you are feeling, and what are the triggers there, and just try to remove it. So try to think, how can I bring more joy in a process that I don't that I don't enjoy, something that I don't enjoy doing? How can I experience it better? How can I remove some of this trigger, or this emotional negative trigger that I'm getting from some people? How can I be more grateful? How can I, have more appreciation in general instead of expectation, which can also help you shift some of these negative emotions. So really catch yourself here in terms of protecting, know where you are losing energy, and know that you can take command there. You can take actions. You can make sure that you remove all these blocks for your energy. And I just promise you, if you work on one thing this year and it's your energy, you are going to see a massive difference on you, on your relationship, and on your life.